Hello and welcome everyone to Voices with Tushar podcast, and I'm your host Tushar Baweja. First of all, thank you so much for taking out time to watch or listen to this podcast anywhere you are listening to this. And for the second episode, we have Akash Sharma. You all know him by Terabyte on Instagram. So, who is he? He is the founder of Byte Cyber Labs, a leading company in the cybersecurity industry. So now Akash will give his introduction so you can understand him a lot better.
Hey guys, I'm Akash Sharma, and you also know me by the name Terabyte. I am I'm a lot of stuff, but I consider myself more as a hacker. I'm a cybersecurity expert professionally, and I like to do sometimes rapping as well. I'm a poet, writer, and everything else. Professionally speaking, I have almost 5 years of experience in cybersecurity domain. I have worked with multiple companies that may name as Deloitte, PwC, Geo Infosec team for some instances. Currently, I am an entrepreneur and have my own cybersecurity-based startup called Byte Cyber Labs. For my qualifications, I am a postgraduate and pursuing my PhD, and I have already got more than 15 legitimate certificates. So yes, you can count me as an average hacker, I would say. But yeah, that's all about me.
Okay, that's great. Regarding the certifications, because certifications plays an important role in our country, especially in our country, because here in India, certification and degrees are given more value than your skill set. So, can you please let us know about some of the most common certifications you have in your industry?
To name some of the important ones, I have got CEH, ECSA, CHFI, that is by EC Council, LPT as well, I forgot that, EC Council. From offensive security, I got OSCP and OSWP, that is Certified Professional and Wireless Professional. Also, I got CCNA, CCIE, that is from Cisco, and RHCSA from Red Hat, and MCSA from Microsoft. So these are some of the certificates that I got from the major league, you can say, companies or organizations. And you are absolutely right, Tushar, because in India, it is very important that they give, it's important for people to see your certificates rather than your knowledge, than your skills. People prefer more paperwork than actual skill sets, They actually ask for your validations from these organizations that if you're actually having that kind of skill set or knowledge, rather than actually assessing their skills in, firsthand. That's one thing that you are right about.
Yeah. And answering this one question, that if you hire for your startup, that is Byte Cyber Labs, what things do you consider while hiring? Is it the skill set or the certifications?
Okay, well, that's a really tough question but yeah, see, what happens as a company, it's not just I have to fulfill my own satisfaction or my own parameters. There are certain kind of compliances that we have to deal with as well. In that case, definitely we have to look for the proper paperwork and certifications. But I prefer myself that I need to I dig a little bit more into skills. Like I like to assess a person thoroughly. Like let's suppose even if I'm hiring a business developer, I need to know like what kind of work he have done before. Or if I'm hiring a pen tester or let's say a trainer, I need to know like how much they are good with the skills just as they are good with the paperwork. So yes, both go hand in hand because as a company, we have to, follow the compliance rule and regulations. But yes, there is one more parameter of a skill assessment that I do. I go to that extent of assessing a proper skill set. I take like a personal interview after they, follow up from my other, like the other hierarchy. And yeah, that's how I do.
Okay, that's really good. And like taking up to the certifications, in the very beginning of your career, what was your focus on, like gaining the skills or the certifications? Like if I'm not wrong, you might have started when you were 16 to 17 years old. in learning these skills. So, what was your approach in the very beginning?
See, okay. I started when I was, I guess, 15, 16. You're right about it. Um, See, by the time I got mature, I was not even aware that I was doing something called hacking specifically. So yes, of course, my motive was to learn the skill. I didn't really know about the certifications and all. I got to know about my first certification when I got to know that I am a CEH now, because I gave the exam and I gave everything. Like performed the practicals, and later I got to know, yes, I'm being certified, and this will be helpful in professional terms. So of course, my motive was majorly to gain skills and not certificate, because I didn't really saw from that perspective. But when it comes to advising someone for the same, I would advise that you should definitely go for skills first, because if you have the proper skills, you can get the certificates later too. Because getting a certificate from a good organization involves your investment, not just your time, but your financial investment too. So taking that big step before, as like from a perspective of a beginner, I would say that you should focus more on skills, and then you can later go for a good certificate. So that's my recommendation.
Okay, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And as we all know, you have different interests. Like I watched your videos. You
Mhm.
do some singing too, right?
Not really. I'm a bad singer, but yeah, I do rap because it doesn't require you to be having a great voice. So yeah.
Okay. So in the like when you were of that age, like 15, 16, so how did you explore yourself? Like how did you know that I have to do this one thing in my career? Or you were just trying out different things and figured out like, let's try this, or I should move this. When
Yeah.
do you realize this thing that yes, I'm made for doing hacking and I will do other things as my side interest?
Uh, that's a pretty rough past I got at this one for sure. Because in my school days, I was really good at sports. I was an athlete myself, and I represented my school in national level, and I was a national level gold medalist too in athletics. So I wanted to become an athlete for sure, like a full-time athlete. I never thought of computer science as a profession or as a career. It was just like a pastime that I was doing. Okay, I enjoy it, so I'm doing it. But I'm pretty much fortunate that my parents actually forced me to leave sports and get into this, because once I started, I started to get a more mature perspective on this. Like, this is gonna be good for me, not just interest wise, but also my career wise. It's gonna be a little more stable. So yeah, that's when I started taking a little bit turn towards more serious turns toward computer science, not just doing it for fun, but now taking it seriously and doing it full time. So yeah, that's when I realized that I think it was by the age of 17 or 18 when I realized that I should be getting more focused on computer science and just leave the rest of everything else. Rapping, as far as considered, I started doing rap when I was, I don't know, maybe 13, 14. I used to write a lot of stuff. I don't know like if it was legit rap or what. I used to write poetries because I was fond of it. My Some of my relatives were from that background, from writer's background. So yeah, I was writing it for a long time, and now it just started getting better and better and better, because you can say my frustrations and other kind of other stuff just kind of added up to it. The skill got a little more better. So rapping is completely different. I never took rapping or writing as ever. I never took that as a profession or even as like a full-time thing. I was just doing it for fun, and that's all what I do for.
Okay, that's great. Because
Yeah.
you have performed in different colleges, college fest too. You have posted those on your social medias and everything.
Yeah.
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 And
That was so fun.
yeah, and you have posted one motivational rap on your YouTube, and that was pretty good. And I would
Thank you.
request you to like sing that rap at the end of this podcast. That would be really good for the
Sure.
audience as well.
Sure. I'll do it. No problem.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for that.
Hmm.
And moving on to the education part, because most of our audience is are teenagers or the people
Hmm.
who are doing their like bachelor's or masters. So this is for them. the way education is molding right now in our country is from like going from the hierarchy part, that school, college, to trying out different things from the school itself, joining communities or different groups of similar mindset. So,
Mm-hmm.
what are your views on this? Because it's changing quite very rapidly, I would say. And
Mm-hmm.
from the launch of Avalon Meta by Varun Maya and team, it has
Mm-hmm.
become like very rapidly. And in the lockdown, everyone was trying out different courses or
Right.
different workshops as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
what is your perspective in this?
Huh. Well, I feel bad sometimes for students because they got messed up in these community wars sometimes, because community is made up of the participants, and when a community is taken down, the participants get affected the most. I don't want to take names specifically, but there are some really great communities out there as well. But on the contrary, we also have communities which are just taking, benefit out of their participants in them. Community is not about gaining, monetary, or there's no monetary gains that you focus for. Community is about growing a specific mindset. Uh, I felt this trend recently, almost 6, 7 months back in the lockdown period, that almost every other person was opening their own community, and that was really, stressing. And I felt that myself, that why the hell am I even having a community of my own? Because there are already hundreds of them, and what kind of difference am I making? That is the reason when I decided that I should be, converting my community into a proper professional body. And that's why Byte Cyber Labs is not that active as a community now. We have a Discord, but we don't really get active on that because we are more focused on the professional development part. So yes, students do actually get tangled in these communities. So the choosing the best community for your growth is very important. You guys have been doing a great job from a long time. I spoke to Vikram when he didn't even started community. Reset Hacker was not even a community when I was when he was my friend, and I was really happy when he did that for sure. And today, I guess you have almost 10K followers, and that's amazing for sure. First of all, kudos to Reset Hacker. So yeah, uh, and coming back to your question, taking out different courses, taking out different communities is okay until unless you are confident enough that you are joining the right one. Because, of course, let's take an example of Reset Hacker. Day one, nobody knew like you will be having 10K followers or these many followers or these many branches, right? And today, till date in March 2021, you already have a really good, you can say, network of your own. So yeah, the people who got connected with you in the very beginning, they are still with you. Of course, they have grown to a certain level. I won't say like this is a financial growth specifically, but what my focus is here, the intellectual growth. See, because now you have been doing podcasts for a while, you learned a lot from that as well. And a lot of other people were just managing the social media account. They learned different XYZ kind of stuff. So that's the main motive of a community. Students actually mistake communities for their career growth. That's not going to happen. You cannot grow a career out of a community because, of course, the people owning the community are doing it full time. They are investing a lot of their time, their efforts, their finances into it. Of course, they are taking it full time, but the participants are putting their efforts and knowledge and skill set to grow themselves. You see, and in terms of financial growth, either you are doing full-time community or you're doing a full-time professional work or job or your own business or whatever XYZ thing you're doing. So these two things cannot go both hand in hand for sure,
Yeah.
because then there are some professional guidelines. There is this thing called I forgot the word called conflict of interest. You see, in
Yeah.
companies, big companies like PwC and stuff, there are conflicts of interest that you cannot indulge yourself in a community work or something until unless you're working with them. So yeah, I mean, choosing the right path is important. To If you don't understand where you want to go, you can ask the people who are actually in the community like how this is actually going to work. You should know your motive to join, right? People are joining communities just for the sake of fame, and that's bad.
Okay.
There have been community, there have been instances that just because the community name is big, they're joining, but they don't really know the motive why they want to join it. You see, this is called the what do you call that? Uh, a toad in the pond. You see, like, because just because you have like-minded people around you, you're gonna grow. That's not gonna happen.
You have to
I've
put in
seen
that work.
absolutely, you have to put in work for yourself. You have to put in work for the community. If you're volunteering, you need to show your worth. That's when you will grow. Otherwise, you will not grow. You see, I know people on Instagram who are not a part of community, not a part of any groups or something like that, but they are still, quite intelligent, quite famous, quite renowned for their skills. So that should be the motive. Just putting in work. Doesn't matter what community, or doesn't matter what group, or doesn't matter what company.
And if not for these communities or different groups of different industries, how can students or people who are doing their job, full-time job or anything, can network with different like-minded people who will help them in their growth? So
Right.
that is a main issue right now, especially in after the pandemic have hit hard to us, because
Right.
colleges are now online on Zoom calls. Even the people who have just signed up in colleges do not know much about who their classmates are.
Right.
So how can people network right now?
Correct.
A big issue.
Sure. That's one thing that you're correct about again. See, one thing I also want to point out here, because we're talking on this topic, don't mind it, that people, I felt it because I got a lot of text messages on Instagram. People are taking Instagram and choosing it for their professional growth. There is LinkedIn for that. I don't know why don't people choose it. They are putting every professional detail in their Instagram bio, but their LinkedIn profile sucks. So if you're not using the resources properly, you ain't going anywhere. You see, people come here on Instagram, send me their LinkedIn profiles, and I'm impressed. Okay, this guy is, something on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is somewhere that you show off your professional skills. On Instagram, you can show off almost anything. You can even have a food blog page, or you can also have a cybersecurity blog page. That's okay. I don't mind that. But what I mind is when you start professional discussions on Instagram, which is not legit, which is not good, to be honest. If there is LinkedIn, I am myself very professional on LinkedIn. I don't reply to unnecessary text on LinkedIn. On Instagram, I'm like just any other guy. I'm very cool, because I don't want people to get confused my personal profile and my professional profile. So that's one thing I also want to point out.
Okay. And on Instagram, you have done very well with your content creation and other stuff,
Thanks.
like getting onto those conversations on live sessions and every other thing, engaging with people as well. So how have you improved your content creation part? Because you have done pretty well in the past and have grown from, like, when I followed you, you were at like 600 or so, and after you uploaded valuable content and engaged with people, it was now at 5K right now, if I'm not
Right.
wrong.
Right.
So how did you play
5,600.
that content creation game and the social media game?
One thing I learned on Instagram is that if you're putting up the value, you will definitely get the followers. I never really craved for followers. I was even okay with when I was having 300 followers. I'm even okay with when I'm having 5,000, or maybe someday I'll have 50,000 or more than that. But what my concern is that when somebody's following me, they should benefit from the kind of content I'm putting. If you'll see my Instagram posts for a few while, like say for 3 months, I'm just uploading my own pictures. I'm not even putting any good content. The reason is because I'm already way too much occupied in this professional work that I'm having, like client meetings and all. So I don't want to, discuss that as of now. But I'm just occupied with some stuff that I cannot ignore. So I'm not getting real time to make an Instagram post or something like that, or follow with my followers. So for the last 4 months, I haven't grown. I was having 5,900 and I went to 5,600 now. But if you talk about the how I leveled up the game, from that perspective, content creation is all about how you are adding value to the person who is going to look at the content, right? So it's not about what you like, it's about what the people are going to like. Because there's a population of 7 billion. You never know who's going to like what. You just need to put the content. Once you put the content on the internet, it's anyway gonna be liked by someone or somewhere. You never know. So I follow the same criteria. This is something that I saw in a Gary V's video, if you know Gary V. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's where I learned that it's not about what you like in your content. You need to understand like what people are actually craving for, because that's who you are making content for. You're not making content to like yourself and comment yourself. You want
Yeah.
people to like it, right? So it's about that. You need to quench their thirst instead of quenching your own thirst. If they feel good, they will follow you. It's as simple as that. And yeah, there's this one question I want to answer to your podcast. I
Yeah.
got, I'm not bragging, I got almost 20, 25 messages every week or every 2 weeks at least. How the fuck do you speak so better English? I'm sorry, I can curse there? I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, you
you
can edit.
can. You
Okay, I'm
you
sorry.
can.
Yeah, I'm just in the flow. That how do you really speak this English, or how do you have an accent or something? I just want to say, I freaking worked, I grinded for at least like 2 years of my initial time in a call center, right? I was doing two jobs. I was a network admin and a call center representative as a salesman. So yes, of course, that's going to leave a mark for sure.
Yeah.
I used to speak to UK people, to Australian people, to US people. So yeah, of course, that left a mark. But apart from that, the communication is considered. You can, social media is there. There's nobody to judge you, right? You can
Yeah.
just talk to random people. You can do podcasts like these. You can
Yeah.
listen to different podcasts, talk to yourself. Just do whatever you have to do to get an accent. Yeah, so it's not that big deal, to be honest. If you practice, you will get it. Tushar is doing
Yes.
well. If you take an example, I want to give an example for Tushar. The first podcast I did with him, he was like kind of shaky. He was a little bit nervous. It was beginning. So
Yeah,
I
I
was like,
remember that.
yeah, remember, right? It
I
was on
remember that.
Instagram. Yeah, you're doing it with the phone, I remember. And
Yeah.
now, if you see his podcast, the content, the way of delivery is quite matured and quite, developed to a certain level that it looks almost professional.
Yeah.
So, kudos to him. Learn from him. Like he's doing good, quite good with it. So it's
Thank you
about
so much for
practice.
that compliment.
You're welcome, Tushar. You're doing really great. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm just focusing on that one Gary Vee's one rule: provide the value, and I'm doing
Absolutely.
that
Provide the value. Right.
because I've been following him from like 2 years, and I've been trying to apply every little thing in my life, and that actually
Right.
improves. If
Mhm.
you follow creators who are positive in their work as well and provide positive value, you are going to get improved. Even if you are
Absolutely.
lazy, you will work for that thing.
Right. Right.
So that is what I have learned from Gary Vee or Raj Shamani, and there's
Yeah.
one Digital Pratik.
Pratik.
These
Digital Pratik.
people are doing really well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Even like I followed the journey of Digital Pratik as well, and he was doing a side by side job while putting out content. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember he used to edit videos by himself, which he
Mm-hmm.
like back in 2017 he shared that thing, and
Mm-hmm.
right now he's having his own agency.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that successful, and he puts out
Sure.
like
Sure.
regular 6 to 7 pieces of content on Instagram only, and I'm like, that's insane. When do you record that thing?
So
So
that's right.
that's the thing.
It's
Yeah.
about consistency for sure. And
Yeah.
the names you took, I idolize all of them, to be honest. I idolize the most Gary Vee and Digital Pratik for sure. Raj Shamani is somebody who also gives me content sometimes. I followed his 3 rules with Raj Shamani kind of stuff as well a few time back, but it didn't work out for me, to be honest. But I was trying. I was trying reels, if you know. I try to make reels because I have humor. I have a sense of humor. I'll say that for sure. But I was trying to make good reels, and it really worked out because I was not expecting even 100 views. It got 4,000, 5,000. I was like, what the fuck? People are finding it funny. So that's something that you should try as well.
Yeah, that's one thing. And Gary Vee is like the like father of personal branding in the world right now, because
Sure.
the value he provides is really
Mm-hmm.
practical, and he says that thing. And if you consume his content well, you will understand that thing as well, that he really has good human skills. His observation skills are like apt. He observes and then gives out a particular message, and that message works for massive population out there who follows him. And what Digital Pratik does is, firstly started as like contextualizing Gary's content to Indian audience, and that was insane. Like I was
Yeah,
like,
right.
you can just contextualize another person's content, and you are done. You are providing value to your audience, and that is what your audience is
Exactly.
looking for. And regarding Raj, like if people have followed him from like past 6 months, they
Mhm.
might have observed how he was struggling in reels, and now his
Yeah,
reels are going for 30 million views.
absolutely. That was an amazing thing when I saw like 30 millions. Like seriously, who's watching it?
Yeah, but that piece of content was like pretty well. Like
Mm.
he showed in his vlog how he recorded that, and he was like, boom. He told his friends or the employees he lives with. He told them like, you have to give the same expression which you gave while listening it to the first time. And I was like,
Yeah,
this is how you make the perfect reel.
right.
So that was. Now let's move to your name by which people know you mostly on Instagram, and which is Terabyte. A very
Yeah,
few people know about the story behind this name, Terabyte, because
yeah,
you uploaded it in the very beginning of your social media.
yeah,
So what's
right,
the
right.
story behind it?
So, okay, it's a weird story, so don't mind it. Don't judge me by that.
Yeah.
So, in my college days, like, I had a group of friends, like, I don't even remember the all name of all of them, but among them, among us 7 people, I was the first one to get a hard drive. Okay, it was a Seagate hard drive, 1 terabyte. So they used to borrow that hard drive for the backups or for the data transfers, and they don't even bother to say the name of the hard drive or say my name either. They just used to say, I'm gonna say it in Hindi, "Oi terabyte dio." So it's something like that. So that terabyte actually start to stick my name, Akash Terabyte Day. So it's like that. So one day we were just walking down the road, and he said like, why don't you keep a name something like that? Maybe something as cool as 102 for gigabyte, because that is equivalent to terabyte.
Yeah.
So that was my username in the very beginning, 102 for gigabyte. But again, I was trolled for that because I used to play Counter Strike back then, and somebody actually trolled me. Why don't you simply just keep it terabyte? I mean, why do you have to have this big name? I was like, terabyte is cool as well, because I can keep it as T3rabyt3. So why not? So that's when I realized that terabyte is a cool name to have. So yeah, that's how I got it. So I thank Seagate for giving me this name. Credit
Yeah.
goes to Seagate. Yeah.
Like, because I have observed most people, like people used to ask me the questions when I dropped information regarding cybersecurity and stuff on my Instagram. People
Mm-hmm.
used to ask me like, whom do we ask for suggestions, who
Mm-hmm.
have done really well on this? And I was like, uh, go to ask this person, and they were like, "Arey, ye to terabyte hai," and he doesn't reply much. And I was like, he's very busy right now. And I've received DMs as well.
I don't know how many people are watching this. I'm really sorry that I didn't reply to your text, because even now I can show you my Instagram. I almost have more than 46 messages that I haven't replied yet, so I have to reply them for sure. After this podcast, I will maybe. But I'm really sorry for not replying to the people. So yeah, I'm known for that, and it's a
Yeah,
bad
most
thing.
people say so.
Yeah,
Most
it's a
people.
bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Do
yeah,
you know Rupinder?
people do get busy in their work as well, and a very few people understand this thing, that they have their personal life as well. It is not about just Instagram.
Exactly. My best friends, if they text me on Instagram, I'm not able to reply to them. They say me on WhatsApp, like, why the fuck are you not replying on Instagram? I just tagged you in the post. You should reply on the comment. I'm like, I didn't even see the comment because they were like hundreds of notifications. How can I know which one's yours?
Yeah, it happens with
Yeah.
most of the people out there.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks for understanding.
yeah, pardon. What did you just say?
No, I said thanks for understanding.
Yeah. Okay. So now I would like to ask you this question, like, uh, can you please let us know about your struggling days, and what was your focus on these days, and how did you made this into like from learning, doing college, and now starting up a venture and expanding it to another country as well. Congratulations, like
Thank you so
Byte Cyber
much.
Lab has one more branch, and that is in Canada.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. So please share your journey with the audience as well.
Sure. So, in the beginning, I used to have only one computer, and that was a HP all-in-one. Not even that. Even before that, my auntie gave me a tablet. It was an eyeball tablet, and she said like the screen doesn't really work, and I don't know what you're gonna do with it, but if you can do something with it, like just keep it. So I went to a nearby shop and I see like what can be done, and I got the screen replaced for like let's say $400 or something, and that was my first ever device that I ever got. I learned on YouTube like how you can, install NetHunter somehow in an non-Google device, because yeah, you know that NetHunter have device specifications. It was quite laggy, but I first installed Kali in that particular tablet, and I was like, "Damn, I'm a hacker now." But that was the beginning of it, because that's how I started learning about Linux. I got to know about Linux a little more, and I don't know how old I was. I maybe 15 or 16. I don't exactly remember the age, but yeah, that's no. Actually, I was 14, if I remembered it right. Because if I'll say more of incident, then you will know how old I am right now. So I don't want to
Okay.
disclose it. So after that, when I started learning, I got a P4 computer. You remember the old ones like the Bawala, big
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, I
So
know.
I got that computer first time for almost 7K. That was my first computer that I got, and I started learning C sharp. I learned what else I learned? C sharp, assembly coding. Uh, I was learning Java also in the between. So that's when I started learning those things, because I understood that, damn, if I want to make something, I need to know how it is made. I need to know the languages. I need to know the code and everything. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are. You
I'm
are.
audible, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. So yeah. So I didn't really had resources, because I'll be honest, I'm gonna be open that I couldn't
Yeah.
really afford resources, because because of the finances of my family,
Yeah.
I wasn't able to go to the institutes that I wanted to go, and I couldn't really choose the kind of subjects I wanted to study. So fortunately, I got BCA. I got into BCA from an open university and I started doing dual jobs, because I wanted a good computer for sure. I wanted anyhow, like I wanted to purchase a good machines for my own, and I wanted to get into institutes like, if you know Lucidius,
No.
right? Lucidius, you know Rahul Tyagi?
Yeah.
Lucidius is this company. It's now safe,
Yeah.
but
Okay. Okay.
Lucidius, right? So to get in Lucidius, I still remember the fees was 55,000, including all taxes, and I made a target of 6 months that I have to do two jobs and I have to save money, give it to my family, and then save it for Lucidius for sure, because I want to get in anyhow. And that's how I got first time into Lucidius, and I got my certification there. My first CEH was from Lucidius itself, and I was really happy, because that's how I began. That's how my craving started, and I felt it this way that if I make these kind of targets, maybe I can achieve what I actually wanted, because that was a very small target of 55,000. I didn't really had a laptop. I used to go there and borrow a laptop, and I worked with that. And later, when I got my first bounty, the first bounty was for $400, I guess, and that paid my first EMI of my laptop. I got a laptop on down payment and an EMI, and yeah, that's all how it's pretty much began. So it was a little bit rough for sure. So now when people say that students most of the time say that my parents don't support me, I don't have finances, I'm like, what the fuck, man, I didn't have that too. I came from the same place. So I don't really understand it, why people are not really willing to, go to that extent and do work and then get it by yourself. I don't really mind, helping somebody with finances or anything, because I feel fortunate enough that I feel that if I'm able to help, I would love to do it. But then again, this thought comes to mind that I might be spoon feeding the same guy, because I recently got a text from a person who was from Bangladesh, and he was not really good with finances. He was crying for a few days on calls, and I was trying to convince him that, okay, just calm down. It's not the end of the world after all. So I don't really understand why people don't try to put work instead of just ranting about the situations, because the situations are not going to change by themselves. You see, I know it's tough. I know it's hard. I used to cry myself in the nights because I used to see my friends are having great laptops, great phones, great everything. They're partying, they're doing stuff. I was not able to do that, but I used to cry. Okay, I'm gonna to be honest. Like I was the age of 19, and I still used to sleep with my mom sometimes because I used to cry that why the fuck these all problems are happening with me? Why I'm not able to learn stuff, or why I'm not having a good computer or laptop? But yeah, working two shifts, going to companies, giving way too much interviews, getting certifications done, actually built the whole thing behind me, built the confidence. The first small achievements you got builds the confidence to get even more, to crave for more. If you have the craving, if you have the passion, you'll do it no matter what happens. Because people try to convince me that I'm having the worst situation ever, I'm in the worst situation, I'm eating shit on a daily basis. So what? There are thousands of people doing it as well. I'm sure, Tushar, you must be having most of the personal life issues as well, but
Yeah.
still you are striving daily, You're doing this podcast, even though you're not getting paid for that, but you are
Yeah.
willing to learn from it. So you
Yeah.
are putting in the effort. People are putting in the effort, and I really respect those people who are actually doing it. But when it comes to getting a help out of pity, I really hate that, because nobody's gonna pity on you ever. If I pity on someone and I help them out of sympathy or something, I am just making it worse for them, because they will be just getting depending on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do need a little bit push, but that push doesn't mean that you're just going to make the whole highway for them. You see,
Yeah.
the push can be motivational, the push can be spiritual, the push can be intellectual, could be anything. It doesn't need to be finance every time. uh,
Yeah.
Another thing I want to talk about from my beginning is that I wasn't supported every time for hacking specifically. I was discouraged, I was criticized, I was said that, okay, you're not going to be a good one for sure, because, of course, how can a guy be a hacker if he don't have enough books or enough computers, or
Yeah.
he barely knows about computers? So how are you going to be that? Because my family background is not a technical background, though.
Yeah.
My uncle, he lives in Mumbai, and he's one of my relatives. Like, he's my father's younger brother. So he was into Microsoft a few time back, and now he's like doing something of his own. I don't really know what, but yeah, he was the only guy technical in my family. So my family was more like, maybe just get a simple job, maybe just they were happy I was in call center. They were happy with it because I was earning, like, let's say 15, 18K in the very beginning. My first salary was 12K. But 15, 18K, they were happy that, okay, fine, he have a job, he's having incentives, he's having, like, he's just going and coming and everything's going good. So they were happy with it. But when it came to taking a leap, taking the risk of leaving the job and going to the CDS, learning everything, investing even more,
Yeah.
I feel that that was the best moment for me, because if hadn't taken that leap, I wouldn't be what I am right now. I must have been sitting in a call center having a salary maybe of 20 to 25K. I'm not saying 25K is bad or working in a call center is bad. I'm just saying that I would have been limited to there. You see, maybe for next 10 more years, 15 more years, that would have been a dead end for
Yeah.
me. I'm I'm
Yeah.
I'm just glad I didn't do that. So that's one thing I also want to say from my past, that it, giving up is not an option, or asking for somebody else's pity is also not an option. If you want it, just do whatever you have to do for that. Taking help is okay, asking for help is okay, but depending on the help is definitely not okay. It's not cool, because 10 years later, 15 years later, 20 years later, definitely you're going to regret it, because if
Yeah.
you're not putting in the work now, it's going to turn out very ugly pretty
Yeah.
soon. See, so that's one thing. Starting BCL, starting of Byte Cyber Labs, that was a very interesting thing, because I was with my friend Ashish, and we were sitting, I guess, at KFC, I guess. I don't remember where we were. And I was having my laptop in front, and he said, like, why the fuck you don't start your own company, or your own community? Because we were just talking about the fact that how my previous community didn't really work out well and how things are going
Yeah.
now. So I thought, as if I can do it. I mean, I was not in a favor of it, because I thought, like, how the fuck can I do that? Because I never managed people on a large scale. Um, I was a team lead and stuff like that, but I was at max. I was having 15 people to handle, not more than that. Now talking about a community, it is the responsibility of hundreds and thousands of people. So I was like, what the fuck? Why should I name it? I should name it like people behind Terabyte or Terabyte's community. Like it sounded really lame.
Yeah.
After a little bit of brainstorming, two burgers and a cold crusher, we figured out that Byte Cyber Labs sounds really cool. So
Okay.
yeah, it was a matter of fact like two hours or so, and we figured out like Byte Cyber Labs is something that we got to go for, and we opened GoDaddy. We just paid for the domain, and we got the domain, and we were happy that okay, yeah, we have Byte Cyber Labs now. On the same time, we also opened a YouTube channel for that. I guess that was in 2019. This took place. So Byte Cyber Labs was only having a motive of having a YouTube channel where I can put different shit and stuff for people who are actually looking for hacking and stuff.
And where you come very less.
Where I come very less. I have no time to. I'll be honest. This is my this is what I'm guilty for, that I am lazy in terms of recording videos. I'm good at it, and I'm happy that I'm good at it, but I'm really lazy at it. Because my friend edited the video for me, and he's like, why the fuck you don't record it? If you're playing games, if you're writing stuff, you can record a video, and I don't do that. I'm sorry for that. But yeah. So YouTube, that's how Byte Cyber Lab started. I started to get response from my previous employers, my companies that I used to connect with. I used to do freelance stuff. My clients used to started, say that, okay, let's do it, because if you are starting a company, we would like to be your client. We would like to get connected with you. But there's always a but. You need to
Yeah.
have a portfolio. I'm like, I spent 5 years making a portfolio of my own. Now you're saying that I need to have a portfolio of my company. Like, what the fuck? That was a major, push down for me. I felt bad. I felt sad that I put everything, all of my time, all of my investments into this company, into this name, and now they're saying I need to have a portfolio. Like, how the fuck am I how I'm supposed to get a portfolio of 2 years altogether in a single day? It's not possible. But fortunately, I got really good teammates. I got really good supporters. I got a really good friend. I'm giving a shout out to Ashish Ravi for being with me all the time. He's my biggest support so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a technical guy though, but he's my best friend for sure. He knows me for 15 years now. For of course, he's my best friend. So yeah, so that's how Byte Cyber Lab started pretty much, and yeah, I'm the day we signed an agreement with the our Canadian clients to open an office in Canada. That was my biggest achievement so far, after OSCP. You can say OSCP was my biggest one because that was completely out of expectation. I gave an exam. I'm sorry, I'm just making up story. Telling you all the stories, but yeah, once I'm started, I don't stop. Deal
People
with it.
will love to see behind the scenes of Akash Sharma. So,
Sure. Yeah.
yeah. So what I was asking was, how did it started in Canada? Like, how did you
Okay.
open a branch there?
Yeah. It's open. The office is all started. It's open, and the commercial license is already with us, and it's legit. It's open. Yeah. So how it started? So we were looking for clients in India. Okay, and I asked my business developer to start looking for clients who are having branches in different other countries so that we can expand a little bit more. And I got a connection. My developer got a connection, and we got to know that the connection is mutual. We are looking at the same guy. So I asked him to target the guy and see like if he will be interested. He saw my profile. He saw the company's profile. He saw the kind of the paperwork we had. Of course, again, paperwork is important.
Yeah.
So yeah, we agreed on the finances. We got an investor too, fortunately, because we pitched the idea. We have some of the undisclosed ideas we are not showing off yet, but it's still under progress. We are developing something of our own. So he
Okay.
liked that idea. He liked the concept for it, and he started. He was just agreeing to invest, and that's how we got the breakthrough. And yeah, after 2 months later, we have our own office in Canada. So yeah, that's one big
So
thing.
happy for you.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah. So what are the plans for Byte Cyber Labs? Where do you see Byte Cyber Labs as a company in like 5 to 10 years from now?
Okay, I'm going to be very precise on this one. Um, I'm very precise with the timelines, to be honest. Now, actually, so Byte Cyber Labs is as of now just focusing on training part. I am just establishing as a very, you know, cybersecurity centric uh, academy, you can say. But additionally, I'm having clients for VAPT. I'm having clients for services part of the cybersecurity as well. PCI DSS clients, we have a few. Um, what I'm planning with Byte Cyber Labs is very different because I don't want to get limited to cybersecurity, to be honest, because I've seen that I've trained people in different programming languages. I've trained people in AWS as well, and I got a response that I should do that full time as well. So I'm thinking to take a chance in those spectrums as well. So I'm gonna do that for sure. If you talk about the time periods of 5 and 10 years, in 5 years, I'm planning that I should be having, next time you're doing my podcast, maybe in next 5 years, I will be having like a big office with at least a glass door behind me, not a green screen for sure. And in 10 years, I'm planning to have it enlisted in Forbes. I'm
Okay.
planning. I'm planning for Forbes for sure. Anyhow, I want to get listed. My goal is that in next 5 years, before I'm 30, I want to get in the 30 and the 30 in India. In India for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my plan.
So that's pretty good plan, and all the best to you for that.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
And what about the social impact part of the company?
Hmm. Uh.
What are
Okay.
your thoughts on that?
Sure. Do you know Girl Script?
Pardon,
Have
can
you
you
heard of
please repeat?
Girl Script? Have you heard of Girl
Yeah.
Script?
Yeah.
Yeah. Her owner is Anubha Maheshwar. She's my really good friend, and we were talking on the WhatsApp the other day. She asked me the same thing, that what is your social impact on by Cyber Labs, because she is collaborating with multiple organizations for employment for programmers and stuff. I had this similar idea, but it was a few while back. I didn't really started that because I want to get stabilized as a professional body. I want to get stabilized as a company. I'm planning for more consistent revenue so that we can plan to invest in different, community stuff and other workshops and stuff like that. Because as of now, my investments and my plans are more focused on the growth of my company, of my firm. Once that is done, we have the next goal of connecting more with the people, connecting more with different open communities we have, like Reset Hacker or like OWASP or any other big community that you can talk about. So we are planning to be an umbrella which can be connected to multiple branches, not just sticking it to one thing. So
Okay.
there are more of the plans, to be honest, that of course I hope you understand that I cannot disclose on
Yeah, I
such
know.
social media, but yeah,
Yeah.
there are some things that we are also planning for with social impact for sure.
Okay, that's pretty good. So we have heard most of the things about your life, like your journey, your education, and the company part.
Yeah.
But what we missed is this:
Mm-hmm.
Akash Sharma, not the like. I'm not about talking about the cybersecurity Akash Sharma. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about the athlete of Akash Sharma right now.
Okay.
How much do you miss that person, and are you still into athletics, or are you targeting like somehow in the future you will be going into professional athletics even for once?
Oh, okay. So when I'm with my friends, so Ashish is with me since my school days, and he was also an athlete with me, and I had a lot of fun when I was in athletics. I represented my state, my school, in those days, and they were really great days, to be honest, because I had fun. I used to travel. I used to get medals. I used to get limelight and whatnot, and I had a great body. Like in every teenager, I
Yeah.
was also into girls, and I was in the limelight of my school and my college, and leaving that completely definitely was a really tough choice, because that was like a do or die situation for me, because one side was my career, one side was my current interest. I am pretty sure that if I would have chosen athletics as a future, as a career, I'm pretty sure like I wouldn't be successful financially, which was important for me at that time because of my financial conditions. I had to fulfill some of the requirements for my family, so I had to take a better choice, which would, make me stabilize a little more. But yes, of course, I love playing games, like physical games, not just video games. I was a great football fanatic at that time. I was really good at running. We used to go for marathons and whatnot. I have participated in Airtel marathons a lot of times. I have been a bronze medalist once in 2018, I guess. 2018, yeah. Yeah, so I still try to maintain the fitness. I was overweight. I am still overweight. Okay, you might not see, but there is a lot behind the scenes. So yeah, I'm trying to get back in the shape and uh, sitting on the seat all the time. Working with the fingers are not going to make you having six pack abs for sure, but I'm trying to get back in shape like the way I was in my school and my college time. But yes, in future, I don't really see myself as an athlete though, but fitness is one thing that I'm also concerned about. Yeah, so that's it. I'm not planning to get back into athletics professionally or from a career perspective. What's done is done, and I'm just happy with what I moved on. So yeah.
And how did this pandemic hit hard for your physical health?
Oh damn! Don't even ask. It was really tough because I am a person. See that this pandemic affected me not only from cybersecurity career side, but a lot of other ways. Because when I write, I'm a person who writes while I'm traveling. Let's say if I'm traveling via metro, if I'm traveling by a bus, or however, if I'm in a cab or however I'm traveling, I like to write in that environment. And if I'm not traveling, I cannot write. That's one thing. That is the reason that I am not like writing any new raps. You're not seeing my videos. You're not seeing any good music from myself because I'm not traveling. I'm just sitting at the place and I cannot write. I'm not in that zone basically. So pandemic really hit me hard mentally, physically, both, because uh, all I had to do is just sit at home and do stuff. At first month, it was really fun because I'm like, damn, I don't gonna go outside. I'm not gonna go black again because my skin get tan easily. So I was like, okay, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But after 2 months, shit, my tummy is coming out. I'm gaining weight from all over. My waistline was increasing. My cheeks were getting chubby and everything else, whatnot. But yeah, that's how it hit me hard. And I gained almost 7 kgs, and then I rapidly lost 4 kgs again. But yeah, I'm back to square one, so I gotta start it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess your video got stuck.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. My voice was okay?
Yeah, it's just coming, but your video got stuck right now.
I'm so sorry. Did that ruin your podcast?
No, no.
Okay, if you want me to repeat anything, just let me know. I'll do it. No problem.
Okay,
Retakes are
sure,
okay.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can take here because it is recording, not live.
Ah,
And in
sure,
live,
sure, absolutely.
and in live, we have faced a lot of problems. If you remember that one.
I remember. I face the same, bro. So I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
That was pretty good till now. Yeah. Just one last thing.
Hmm.
What's your advice for the teenagers who are just passing out school for career
Hmm.
and uh, their personal life as well, their professional personal life? What is your advice for them?
Hmm. Tushar, this is going to be long for sure. So career-wise, I will say, let's start with the career first, because personal will be a lot more. One thing that I see the most is the confusion part. They are still confused about any XYZ thing. They might be confused about they should go into cybersecurity or not. They should be confused about what is cybersecurity. They might be confused about from where should I learn about cybersecurity or how can I become a hacker. I will say, don't run behind the title of hacker. If you are actually getting into cybersecurity, maturely, if you are mature enough, if you are passionate enough, if you are serious enough for this, don't go behind the title that you should be recognized as a hacker. You don't need that. You don't need an approval from the people on social media that you are actually a hacker. Just start learning stuff. People spend a lot of time making their portfolio as a hacker instead of making a skill as a hacker. By portfolio, I don't mean your LinkedIn profile. What I mean is your Instagram post. I have seen a lot of pe- I've seen some accounts that they have 10K, 15K followers, and they have really stupid cybersecurity content, and then they DM me that where the fuck can I learn? I mean, if you don't know shit, then why the hell you are misguiding people on with your content? Because they cannot answer the questions, and when other students rely on these kind of Instagram accounts and they don't get a reply, they face problems, and that's how it's happening so far. So one advice I want to give is, if you have a confusion, always make sure that you're getting that confusion cleared by someone you trust, by someone people trust, by someone somebody experience is trusting. Because I'm not saying that always come to me, because you know that I'm renowned for replying very late, but I try to reply to as many people as I can. You can go to anyone that you trust, because if your confusion is not clear and if you don't know what exactly you're getting into, it doesn't make sense getting into cybersecurity at all. It's not always about earning money out of cybersecurity, because hacking is not like, it's not about. See, I don't know if I'm making myself clear here, but most of the people, this is very true. You will agree that students or teenagers actually get into hacking for money. That's true. That is
Yeah, because
established, right?
there's a bubble, like get into bug bounty, you will earn thousands of dollars in a first month itself. And when they
It's never
try,
like that.
they will not get even a single bug there.
It's never like that. 2019, I earned almost 15 lakh out of it, and in 2020, I earned less than 80,000. 2021, I haven't found a bug for last 3 months. So it is never like that you will start tomorrow and you will get a bug today. It's never like that. A lot of people are struggling still with bug bounty, so it's okay. But if you're only having a mindset of earning money out of bug bounty, it's never going to happen. If you're coming here for the finances, it's not a good thing, because of course you will not learn architecture to earn money out of buildings. You learn it because you like it, and then you start earning out of it. You develop a skill, you master it, you make great sculptures, and that's how you earn. In hacking, they just want to earn from the day one. That's not how it's gonna work. So now all of it, comes back to the square one, that is confusion. If you have a confusion, please clear it from somebody trusted, not any XYZ person, because I don't want you to get misguided. So if somebody is having confusion, please clear it from a trusted person. If you're asking a valid question, even the people who are really famous in this domain will answer. I know that people don't answer the questions because the questions are really stupid. No offense to anyone. It is okay to ask stupid questions, but not every time, you see. So that's one
Yeah.
thing I want to say on behalf of everyone who is having these kind of questions, who get these kind of DMs. I'm talking on behalf of them as well. That if you are
People
having a legit,
ignore Googling things.
that's the thing. You got it right.
Yeah.
People don't actually work themselves. They don't Google. They don't search. They don't do research. That's
Yeah.
first step of hacking. Reconnaissance. Come on, why you're
Yeah.
not doing it? Collect the main information. Collect the prerequisites. Collect all the details, and ask questions that make sense. Don't ask, can you teach me Google hacking? Can you teach me hacking girlfriend's account? Like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, why? What do you think I am? Who do you think I am? Don't I have a personal life? I mean, I also want a girlfriend for myself. Why won't I hack her account?
This is the number one problem of every person who is in this domain right now.
Right, right. That's one thing that for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So that's one thing I want to give as a career advice, that if you have a confusion, please ask. This is for beginners. For people who are actually in this domain already, uh, try leveling up your game, because it's 2021. It's high time that everything is going digital, everything is going online, and their competition is just increasing every day. So if you did CEH or ECSA back in 2017, it holds no relevance, because the course has upgraded, the skills are upgraded, so you got to update yourself as well. I'm not saying buy another course and spend 30K or 40K in that, but at least level up your game from skill wise. Start learning new stuff. Start learning Active Directory. I know a lot of people, Tushar, believe me, they call themselves like elite hackers with experience of 7 months. They don't know shit about Active Directory. I'm like, if you don't know about it, like, what the fuck do you even know? Because if you don't know about Active Directory, you don't know most of the stuff that is taking place in the professional domain. How the fuck are you planning to provide good services to your clients? Because if you don't know it, because most of the clients are using AD. So that's one thing I want to say about. Keep leveling up your game. Never think yourself as, I don't consider myself elite at all. I am at best a noob that just know a few things. So that's all what I consider myself. So yeah, get back to reality and start leveling up. That's a career advice. Now, let me take a breath and get back to the personal advice. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. First thing, start reading books. I'm not talking about books by authors in cybersecurity domain. I'm keeping that aside. Start reading good books, like books by Jay Shetty. You see, Think Like a Monk, best book ever. Best book ever. If I'm having a kid sometime in the future, let's say in 10 years, 15 years, I'm going to make that kid read this book for sure, or I'm going to disown him.
That book has covered like every aspect of life till now.
Absolutely.
And I've read this like around 2 times right now.
I'll show you something. Hold on. Okay, so I read this book almost 3 times. I'm still not covered every single part. But if you can see the page here, I don't know if it's visible. Hold on.
You have made notes over there.
I have made notes, and you can see it in the whole book. I have made notes for the things that actually make sense and hit me hard. Because you cannot grasp everything in a single read here. This book is amazing. So I want to give this advice to every single person. It's not that expensive. It's just 400 rupees on Amazon. So I think if you can spend that much money on Domino's or any other bullshit that you can spend that on good books for sure. Right. And read books is one thing. Second, I want to say, just be humble. I mean, being humble doesn't hurt. Being humble is free. Being humble makes you feel good. Being humble have all the best thing that you can even think of. So I think, what the fuck are you even proud about? What have you done so far? We haven't done anything. I haven't achieved a lot. So I try to be as down as I can, and it really feels good. I'm not saying because I'm not bragging about myself that I do it. I'm just saying because I feel good about it. I feel happy to be of others' help. I feel happy to reply to someone. I feel happy to add value to some other person who I don't even know. Okay, I want to tell Tushar, this headphones that I get, my other headphones broke down. I just put a story on Instagram. Some student of mine, I don't even know his name. I don't even know how he looks, where he's from, no details. He tracked down my address, did a little bit of reconnaissance, and gifted me these headphones. I swear to my mom, I cried. I cried for like 10 minutes. I was like, how the fuck could somebody even do that for me? Like, I felt really good about it. I never asked for it, but things started to get in return when you give good things to people. That's what I learned from that incident. So always try to be of help to others, to serve others, to be of a positive impact to someone, so that people can not just take value from you, but learn from you and get the positivities they are craving for. That will definitely get back to you for sure. It's all karma. So that's for one personal advice I want to give to everyone.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was a lot, I know.
No, that was not a lot, because if it like if we could talk for hours.
Absolutely.
But, yeah. Now, the only thing which is left right now is the rap. I will not miss that.
Oh, sure, of course. I don't want you to miss anything for sure. This whole time is yours. All right. Okay, so yeah, it's been a while, so I'm trying to recollect all the beats in my head. Okay. हंसते हुए चेहरे को रुलाने वाले बहुत है, बातों में तेरी आग लगाने वाले बहुत है, गलती से जो गिर गया तो कोई ना उठाएगा, और तेरी हर गलती पे चिल्लाने वाले बहुत है, साथ नहीं शुरुआत से ही कोई तेरे सपोर्ट में, आधे मार्क्स ही मिलते हैं तुझको तेरी रिपोर्ट में, खड़ा होना सीख जा इन सब के विरोध में, नहीं तो साले जल जाएगा तू अपने ही क्रोध में, क्रोध तेरा हर आंसू तेरा हर दर्द में तेरा साथी है, क्रोध ही ऐसी चीज बची जो तेरे पास अब बाकी है, पालना इसको सीख ले, तू नहीं किसी की भीख ले, तू खुद के दम पे पे खड़ा हो गया, बस उतना ही काफी है। भाई तू सुन, तू चीता है, तू किसी के पीछे क्यों जीता है, जो तेरे सामने दौड़ रहा है वो तेरे सामने फीका है. Hey, that's it.
Thank you so much for this.
You're welcome.
Just
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good now.
Mm-hmm.
Akash, I need a favor. Can you
Sure.
please just tell the audience out there to share this video with every
Sure.
person who should see this, because they will not get this thing every now and then.
Sure, I'll do it. No problem. Tushar, you are doing great job with the podcast. Reset Hacker is doing really great initiative with these communication with the audience, and I love them for sure. I've seen your other podcast too, and I want to say this to everyone, listening to this podcast or listening to this video. Please do share with people who you care about, because things like these don't take place that easy, and things like these are not accessible that easily. Not a lot of people are talking about it, and that's sad, but you have the power to spread this kind of message to people you care about. You see somebody's in need of these kind of words, or if I am able to provide any kind of positivity to you, please share this with everyone, because positivity is multiplied when you share it. So please do that for sure. I'm not just talking about from cybersecurity or career advice. I'm talking about general things that we just talked about. So please do share with everyone, as many people as I can. Put on your stories, tag Tushar, tag Reset Hacker. If you remember, tag me also at Terabyte Official for sure. And send us in DMs. Why not? So share as much as you can. And leave in a comment if you have any question. I'm going to read the comments myself. Leave in a comment if you want to say something to me or Tushar or anybody at Reset Hacker. Just leave a comment there. I'll really love to see some good comments.
Thank you so much, Akash, for joining us in the basically me in this podcast and providing this much value and taking out time to record this podcast with me, because I know you are super busy expanding your company, and you are providing really good knowledge everywhere.
I enjoyed that as well, Tushar, a lot. Thank you so much for this great podcast that I had. And yeah, man, you're doing a great job. Personally speaking, Tushar, you're absolutely doing a great job growing up yourself, and keep doing that, man. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, good luck to your team at Reset Hacker too. Kudos to you guys for sure. And yeah, let's do more of these. I like it.
Yeah, I will be doing it soon as I reach 15 podcasts. Out of 15 podcasts, I will have another conversation with you.
I'm gonna remember
I will note
this,
that down.
Yeah, I'm gonna remember this.
Yeah, you should.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Take care.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Stay safe. Yeah. Bye-bye. Cheers. Good luck.
Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I want you all to share this podcast with every person who needs to see this, who needs to listen this, because we have dropped value bombs. Akash has shared his personal life here, and if this doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will. So share this podcast, comment your experience, comment your life experiences if you have faced anything similar in your life. Comment how you felt after listening to Akash. Comment what your goals are. Comment your 2 cents of value. Thank you so much, and I will see you in future.